What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over 5 different armbar escapes that you can use in Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to go over the hitchhiker first, and then we're going to go over how I could use the hitchhiker to escape if you go against someone a little bit more advanced. Alright, so as soon as Nakana puts me in this armbar, what I want to do is get my elbow off to the side. So we're going to look at the first one. If I turn my elbow down this way, I can do the hitchhiker. And if I turn my elbow the opposite way, we can start to do something a little different here. So again, as soon as he falls back with this armbar, what I want to do if he doesn't have good control of my wrist is I want to turn and I want to start to walk towards his legs. All right, so as soon as he puts it in this armbar, we fall back. We're going to go here, walk towards the legs, and start to bridge and come up to get out of this position. And now we can end up in guard. We could try to pass from that. But that's our basic one. The first one, as soon as he falls back, go ahead. I turn, I rotate, and I try to pass right off of that. Our next one, if we're going to get somebody a little bit better here. So as soon as I try to go for my hitchhiker, we get to this position, I start going, and he turns me back. What I'm going to do from here is turn my elbow to the opposite side, right? I call it the armbar line. As long as my arm isn't directly in the center, it's really hard for him to armbar me, because if he lifts his hips, it's just not going to work. From here, what I could try to do is push his feet off and come up. Now I just have to watch out, because if this one comes back in front, he can still armbar me. So this one, he goes for it, he starts to lean back. I go for the hitchhiker, he turns me back. I go here. If I can't throw his legs over, he's staying too tight, I'm just gonna use that momentum to come up. Either way, if I have to, we end up in this weird position. It's gonna be a scramble from here. So I might have to start walking around his body, but it just gives me a fighting chance. So here's a video of me actually using this technique in a tournament to get out of a fully locked armbar.
There you go. Take that. Take that.
Go, Robbie.
There you go.
There you go, Robbie.
Hey,
go, Robbie. Be strong, Robbie.
Come up with it. Come up with it. Head back.
There you go, Chad. Come on, Robbie.
Watch your post. Watch your.
So number 3 here. As soon as you get put into the armbar, what I need to do. So I can either grab my bicep and try to get underneath of his leg. I could grab my hands together, or what I could do is I could raise my leg up and I could grab and get a really tight grip. As long as he can't extend my arm back, right? That's all I'm looking for. So it's just gonna give me enough time. So I could grab my hands together here. I could bring this down and try to hook his leg. I have to walk towards his legs a little bit to grab it. I could do it this way. I could grab my leg and I could start walking until I push this one in between. But now I have a free hand to where I can start to push. And now again, he's gonna be looking to go to your back, so I either need to try to chainsaw my arm down, or when we come up, I gotta be ready to try to start to pass here. But again, with this one, I just want some sort of a grip, right? As long as I have my hands attached or I'm grabbing something, it makes it really hard for Nakana to finish this armbar, right? So we get to this position, I take my arm down, I walk towards the legs to the trap, and then I would have to worry about this leg that's over top, right? So now we just start scrambling. I can use my knuckles. We get into this position, I can walk over top of his leg. Probably the worst thing that you could do if he gets a Kimura grip is try to come up. Because if I come up from here, now he's just gonna take my back. All right, so if he has a Kimura grip, you wanna look to go over top. So as soon as I trap, I wanna start going this way. That way he can't utilize that Kimura grip to take my back, right? From here, I don't have to worry about getting armbar. If he goes back right now, he can't do anything. So I'm just gonna start to arm pummel from here. So I grab, I get myself free, take my elbows to the mat, and now I can come up and start to pass from that position. So number 4 here, he was getting me into the armbar. This time I couldn't get my bicep locked. we're just in this position. So maybe he did an armbar sweep, we're here. Now, once we get here, what I want to do is I'm going to try to get his top leg off. So if I can, I'm just going to try to use my knuckles. Now this is going to be a battle. This is why we have to mix our escapes together. Sometimes it's a little bit better to do the hitchhiker. Sometimes it's better to walk towards the legs. And sometimes it's easy to just push this top leg up. Once we get here, again, we do the same thing that we just did. I go over top of his leg, and now I can turn right back into the guard, or we can do anything that I just showed from that third escape, right? But all I'm trying to do is push this over top and wiggle myself to get over top of his leg. Once I do that, I'm out of the arm bar, it turns into a scramble. So this time, we get the arm bar where the leg's not across the chest, so it's not really blocking me. What I want to do is try to hike myself up and over top. So of course I'm still going to get a grip, that way you can't just pull my arm back. So I'm controlling, I'm trying to keep everything tight to my chest. What I'm going to do is walk away from that leg, and now I'm just going to do the basic back roll that you should do every day in class, right? So we walk out. Once we get here, I'm going to hike myself up, and I'm going to use his arms. And I can even wait for him to start pulling, right? So a lot of times he's yanking on my arm. Go ahead, pull. I hike myself up, and now again we're into a scramble. He might grab my head, he might push away. It's going to be a scramble to get back up on top, but we're not getting armbar, right? So again, as soon as he gets into this position, it's going to be really hard to just hike up over top of his leg right away. So I want to change the angle. All right, so I'm going to walk away from his legs, and then I'm going to shoot myself over top. So go ahead, lock it up, Makana. We get here, if I just try to shoot over top, his knee is blocking. So I turn my hips. Now I go up and over, and then we start to fight for the dominant control there. You know what? We should have done 6.
We should do 6. Keep rolling. Let's just do 6.
Yeah. We'll do it at the end.
We call that a bonus technique.
Now, I actually lied to you. We're gonna do 6 techniques, so I changed it. So we're gonna do one more from the guard, and probably one of the most important ones. So it kind of puts me into the guard here. And a lot of times, the way that somebody's gonna set up the basic armbar on you, they're gonna get control of your elbow, they're gonna go here. So as soon as they do, I wanna get control of my bicep, and I want this one to go behind his leg. And what I'm doing is creating a bar to where he can't pull. All right, so go ahead, throw that leg over. As soon as he does, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna grab behind. Now from here, I can stack him on his head. If they're flexible, not like Nakana here, his legs would go all the way to the mat, and I would just keep smashing his face in. Nakana's legs don't go that far, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. So when we go here, what I'm gonna do, I don't wanna just try to yank my arm out. If I try to yank my arm out, it's not gonna work. So I wanna keep that consistent pressure, just driving down. I don't wanna be going to the side to where he can sweep me. I want everything to be driving on his head. And sometimes I'll even take my foot here for a post, right? It's right behind his butt. I'm staying more this way than towards my head. And I'm just gonna start slowly yanking my arm out until I can break that grip. So again, I yank it. Now I start to pass. So one more time. We go here. Throws it up. Boom. Right away. Start ripping your arm out. Pull them to the side. Get your pass. As always, NOLIABILITIES.